SCP-5046. The Animating Pin. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-5046 is to be kept in a container in a secure storage locker at Site-90. Description: SCP-5046 is a standard blue push pin or thumbtack of unknown make or brand. The head is made of plastic and has a hardened steel point. Despite the anomaly being made of non-anomalous materials, it has the ability to easily pierce objects that a non-anomalous pin would have difficulty or be unable to pierce. As of the most recent iteration of this article, the Foundation has not found any material, anomalous or non-anomalous, that SCP-5046 is unable to pierce. Any object that is pierced by the anomaly becomes animated as if alive. Parts of the animated object, hereafter referred to as SCP-5046-1, will become capable of motion, loosely mimicking the normal range of movement of a similarly shaped biological creature. This often results in SCP-5046-1 manipulating its form in ways that would normally be damaging for the object. Regardless of damage inflicted on SCP-5046-1, upon removal of SCP-5046 from SCP-5046-1's form, it will return to its previous form with all damage repaired, including the damage caused by the application of SCP-5046 and damage inflicted on the object by external sources. SCP-5046 was recovered from an abandoned warehouse belonging to a company called Constans on June 12, 2006, alongside a pamphlet presumably intended to advertise the product. See Addendum SCP-5046-1. As of October 25, 2006, testing involving any living or once living entities are no longer to be performed without signed permission from Head Researcher Arthur Perrin. Addendum SCP-5046-1. The following is an advertisement, presumably written by members of Constance's marketing team, intended to draw interest in SCP-5046. Presenting to the world a most useful item, this magical pin can bring to life any object. Have you ever wanted a pet table? What if you could have a chair that can move around at your direction? These objects don't just move, they think. Perhaps you could make your beloved childhood toys love you just as much as you love them. Test A. June 22, 2006. Subject: SCP-5046. Procedure: SCP-5046 is to be applied to a wooden four-legged chair. Results: approximately 5 seconds after SCP-5046 pierced the chair began to shudder and shake. The chair, referred to as SCP-5046-1 for the remainder of this test, then began to move in a manner reminiscent of a quadrupedal animal. It traveled around the room using the chair's legs to achieve motion, with the back of the chair twisted and tilted as if looking around the room. D-90353 was sent in to remove SCP-5046 from SCP-5046-1. Upon spotting D-90353, SCP-5046-1 immediately resumed motion, heading towards D-90353 at a rapid gait and stopping upon reaching them. It proceeded to caress D-90353's leg with the back of the chair. D-90353 stated that this was a surprisingly soft and pleasant caress despite the hard wooden material of the chair. D-90353 was instructed to remove SCP-5046 and did so. Upon removal of SCP-5046, SCP-5046-1 immediately returned to its shape prior to testing and became inanimate once more. Analysis: SCP-5046-1 acted in a manner that implied curiosity in regards to its surroundings, as well as endearment towards D90353. Despite the chair's legs bending in a manner that should have caused damage to the material, upon removal of SCP-5046, the chair was in perfect condition. The chair is being held in a locked storage room alongside all future SCP-5046 test subjects until it can be proven that SCP-5046 has no lingering effects on objects. Test B, June 30th, 2006. Subject: SCP-5046. Procedure: SCP-5046 is to be applied to the same wooden, four-legged chair and to a four-legged pewter coffee table. The primary purpose of this test is to establish whether the animated objects keep memories between animations as well as between animation of different objects. The secondary purpose is to find out whether there is a specific entity behind these animations. Results: SCP-5046 was applied to the chair, hereafter referred to as SCP-5046-1, which animated as per the results of Test A. D90353 was already in the testing chamber at the start of this test. Upon spotting D90353, SCP-5046-1 rushed to him and began caressing him again. D90353 was instructed to return affection to SCP-5046-1 and did so without hesitation, which SCP-5046-1 reacted positively to. D90353 was instructed to remove SCP-5046. Once SCP-5046 was removed, SCP-5046-1 returned to its inanimate form. For the next part of the test, SCP-5046-1 was reanimated, and D92195 was given an axe and told to enter the room. Upon spotting D92195 entering the testing chamber, SCP-5046-1 headed towards him, but stopped before reaching him. It became wary and began retreating from D92195, who was ordered to destroy SCP-5046-1. D92195 complied and buried the axe into the seat of SCP-5046-1. SCP-5046-1 could not respond verbally, but did recoil and attempt to flee from D92195. D90353 was sent into the testing chamber. Upon spotting D90353 entering the testing chamber, SCP-5046-1 headed towards him and proceeded to attempt to hide behind him. D90353 was instructed to remove SCP-5046. Upon doing so, SCP-5046-1 reverted to a normal, fully repaired chair, even repairing the damage from the axe. For the final part of the test, SCP-5046 was applied to a four-legged pewter coffee table, hereafter referred to as SCP-5046-1. SCP-5046 had no difficulty piercing the pewter material, and the coffee table animated shortly. It proceeded to achieve locomotion in a similar manner as the chair. D90353 was sent into the testing chamber, and SCP-5046-1 approached D90353 and attempted to once again caress him. D92195 was then sent in. SCP-5046-1, immediately upon noticing D92195, proceeded to attempt to hide behind D90353. D90353 was instructed to remove SCP-5046, which he did. Analysis: SCP-5046-1 showed recognition of D90353 and D92195 throughout all stages of the test. We can therefore assume that SCP-5046-1 retains memories between animations. This implies that there may be a specific entity, potentially contained within or called forth by SCP-5046. It is recommended that following tests seek to establish information pertaining to this entity. Test C, July 5, 2006. Subject: SCP-5046. Procedure: SCP-5046 is to be applied to the same wooden four-legged chair, and D90353 is to give verbal commands to SCP-5046-1 and eventually attempt to sit on SCP-5046-1 in order to gauge its reaction to being used like the object it is animating. Results: SCP-5046 animated the chair as per usual. SCP-5046-1 was given a minute to adjust to being animate again before D90353 entered the testing chamber. SCP-5046-1 reacted with excitement to seeing D90353 again and rushed towards him. As per instructions, D90353 ordered SCP-5046-1 to stop. SCP-5046-1 hesitated for approximately a second before complying. D90353, without being instructed to do so, ordered SCP-5046-1 to lie down. SCP-5046-1 proceeded to bend all four legs horizontally from the seat of the chair until the underside of the seat was touching the ground. This seemed to cause SCP-5046-1 no difficulty or discomfort. D90353 praised SCP-5046-1, at which point SCP-5046-1 returned to an upright position. D90353 then did as he had been instructed to do and ordered SCP-5046-1 to stay, before approaching and sitting down on the seat of SCP-5046-1. SCP-5046-1 seemed to suffer no discomfort from supporting D90353's weight, and upon being ordered to do so by D90353, began to move around the edge of the testing chamber. Its movement was hampered slightly by D90353's weight, but it showed no signs of distress. After this, D90353 was ordered to remove SCP-5046 and did so. Analysis: SCP-5046-1 understands verbal commands and, assuming the intelligence animating SCP-5046-1 is itself animal in nature, it has some amount of previous training to recognize what is expected from it in response to certain common commands used with domestic animals. SCP-5046-1 responded to being used like a chair with no qualms. It can be assumed that perhaps it expects this to some degree. With only visual cues available to us as a method of understanding SCP-5046-1's emotional responses, it is difficult to understand exactly how it feels in any specific situation. D90353 claims that it seemed happy while carrying him. D90353 feels that SCP-5046-1 might just want to be helpful. D90353 has also taken to referring to SCP-5046-1 as Rebel, after a dog D90353 had in childhood. D90353 has developed an emotional connection to SCP-5046-1, and it is recommended he be replaced as his emotional attachment might lead to irrational or rebellious acts in future tests. Test D, September 15, 2006. Subject: SCP-5046. Procedure: SCP-5046 is to be applied to a human corpse. Results: SCP-5046 was applied to the corpse, hereafter referred to as SCP-5046-1, which animated as per the results of previous tests. Mere moments after animation, SCP-5046-1 vocalized. It spoke the words, "What the fuck?" and proceeded to look itself over, reacting with horror. Before it could be stopped, it removed SCP-5046 and the corpse returned to an inanimate form. Analysis. This test proves that the intelligence that animates SCP-5046-1 is capable of intelligent speech and is aware of the method by which it is animated. Test E. September 28, 2006. Subject: SCP-5046. Procedure: SCP-5046 is to be applied to another human corpse, which is to be bound to prevent another premature termination. Results: SCP-5046 was applied to the corpse, hereafter referred to as SCP-5046-1, which animated as per the results of previous tests. SCP-5046-1 took in its current situation and began to swear profusely and struggle against its binds. Project Head Arthur Perrin decided to conduct this test himself and entered the testing chamber. Upon spotting him, SCP-5046-1 proceeded to swear at him and insult him. Dr. Perrin ignored him and engaged SCP-5046-1 in an interview. See interview log SCP-5046-1. After the interview, SCP-5046 was removed and the test was terminated. Analysis. See interview log SCP-5046-1. Interview log SCP-5046-1. Interviewed SCP-5046-1. Interviewer Project Head Dr. Arthur Perrin. Forward. This interview occurred during SCP-5046 Test E. Begin log. 2:55 p.m., September 28, 2006. SCP-5046-1. You fucking worthless motherfucker, I'm going to fucking kill you. What is wrong with you people? Dr. Perrin. Please, 5046-1, calm down. Why the hell should I calm down? You animated me into a fucking corpse. Is this some sick joke? My apologies. We were simply trying to find a way to allow you to communicate with us. What makes you think I want to communicate with you? Fair point. But if you want to get out of the body, you're going to have to. Fine. What do you want to talk about? Well, first, a matter of personal curiosity, actually. It was you in the chair and the end table, right? The same entity I'm talking to right now? Yes, it's been me the whole time. Which, by the way, you know being hit with an axe fucking hurts, right? I'm sorry about that. But if that was why you, well, why did you act like an animal? Well, I'm supposed to. Also, I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Without being able to verbalize and stuck in certain forms, it's just easiest to interact in a manner befitting the body. You ever try to hug someone or shake their hand as a chair? I imagine it would be difficult. No shit. Are you always so combative? You seemed pretty nice when interacting with D90353. What the hell kind of a name is D90353? Actually, you know what? I don't care. Here's the answer to your question. I'm combative, as you call it, because you've stuck me in a rotting fucking corpse and I can feel it, you know. I can feel it rotting every second I'm inhabiting it. It's a horrible feeling. I'd throw up, but I'm not physically capable of doing so. Of course, I shouldn't really be able to talk or, well, feel anything in a corpse, but I don't make the rules of how this animation stuff works. It's all arbitrary. And if you ask me, it seems to just decide what does and does not work on a whim. Our apologies. We just figured that something with vocal cords would be easier to communicate through. Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry, I'm not usually like this. I try to be helpful and friendly. I mean, that's the entire reason I exist, but it's hard to not be, well, kind of upset about being trapped inside a corpse. We'll try to be quick then. We just have a few questions. I'll try to answer, but every second in here is terrible agony. Please, be quick. I'll try my best. First of all, so you said your reason to exist was to be helpful and friendly? Yes, I was created to be, well, a companion. I'm naturally a pretty friendly person. I exist primarily to be a pet, I guess, a loving companion. I guess maybe for the kind of people who can't take care of proper pets for some reason or other. I don't need feeding, and I don't need to be taken for walks or given a litter box or anything like that. I also don't have fur or anything that might upset allergies. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty much the perfect pet. I see. Can you tell me who created you and how? Oh, well, my creator was, no. Sorry, but if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to use something other than a corpse. I can't keep going like this. It's horrible. You want to talk? Animate something that isn't actively rotting. Please. End log. 3:15 p.m. September 28th, 2006. Closing statement. SCP-5046-1 became unresponsive, refusing to speak further, and eventually Dr. Perrin removed SCP-5046. Despite not learning what we wanted to learn, we did learn a large amount of valuable information. Dr. Perrin has proposed a plan for Test F to the Ethics Committee. Test F. October 25th, 2006. Note from the Ethics Committee. To SCP-5046 Project Head Dr. Arthur Perrin. Your proposal has caused quite a split in the Ethics Committee. It has been a long deliberation, but the committee has decided to approve your proposal on the condition that the subject of your proposal must be a willing participant. If you can find someone willing to understand and take that risk, you may proceed. Signed, Erica Mai, Ethics Committee Chair. Subject, SCP-5046. Procedure. SCP-5046 is to be applied to D-90353, who has volunteered for this test as per Ethics Committee orders. Results. D-90353 was strapped to a chair as a precaution against another premature termination. SCP-5046 was then applied to D-90353, hereafter referred to as SCP-5046-1. SCP-5046-1 went rigid, and then started to frantically tug on its binds, looking down on itself in horror again. It didn't speak for a few moments, and then Project Head Arthur Perrin entered the testing chamber to conduct another interview. Upon spotting him, SCP-5046-1 proceeded to simply glare at him. Dr. Perrin tried to start a conversation with SCP-5046-1, but SCP-5046-1 cut him off. See interview log, SCP-5046-2. After the interview, SCP-5046 was removed, and the test was terminated. Analysis. See interview log, SCP-5046-2. Interview log, SCP-5046-2. Interviewed, SCP-5046-1. Interviewer, Project Head Dr. Arthur Perrin. Forward. This interview occurred during SCP-5046 Test F. Begin log. 4:44 p.m. October 25th, 2006. Dr. Perrin. Hello. SCP-5046-1. No, shut up. Tell me. Who is this? This body isn't dead. You fucking monsters put me in a living person. Who was he? It's D90353. That's the guy from the first test, right? The guy who was nice to me? Yes, he volunteered. Stop. Stop talking unless I tell you to. You have lost the right to ask me fucking anything. I liked this guy. He was nice to me, and now you killed him. No, you made me kill him. We don't know. No, you don't know. I do, though. I know he's dead. When you fucking animate something with me, you're essentially summoning me into a hollow vessel. There's no consciousness there, so I can just sort of fill the spot. Now, when you put me into a conscious being, well, that spot I'm filling up, it's already filled. When I leave, there won't be anything left. Actually, he'll be alive, but only in the physical sense. You've killed this man. You caused me to kill this man. This man who I liked. I can't even be. SCP-5046-1 goes silent. I'm really sorry, we didn't know. No, you didn't know. You wanted to know, though. You were going to find out the things you wanted to know, and you didn't care how you found out. D90353. That's not a name. That's a designation. What was his name? We have records of each D-class. I could look up his real name on our files if you wish to know what his name was. SCP-5046-1 chuckles humorlessly. You didn't even know his name. SCP-5046-1 pauses for a bit, seemingly thinking to himself. You want to know everything, don't you? Knowledge at any cost. Then I have a deal for you. I'll tell you everything, but on one condition. I want to speak with your mouth. You were willing to sacrifice this poor man for knowledge. I imagine you'll have no problem sacrificing yourself as well, Doctor. A small price to pay for the knowledge you seek. End log. 5 p.m., October 25th, 2006. Closing statement. SCP-5046-1 became unresponsive, refusing to speak further. Dr. Perrin removed SCP-5046 and D90353 became limp. There was no sign of brain activity. Project Head Dr. Arthur Perrin has forbidden all future tests involving living or once living entities without his express orders. Thank you for listening to SCP-5046, The Animating Pin, by the Somnambulist. If you enjoyed this SCP, please like and subscribe, and follow the link in the description to the SCP Wiki, and vote up the article to support the author and the SCP Wiki as a whole.